Bam! Hello everyone and welcome to yet another episode of Walkkie Talkkie with Dinnie and Virginnie. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about our feelings and how we need to get out of them. We need to get out of our feelings sometimes. I'm here taking a walk at Western Branch Park in Chesapeake, Virginia, and that's besides the point. I have been very, very emotional this week. You guys saw my previous Walkkie Talkkie with Dinnie and Virginnie when I was like, don't comment, stuff like that. And then hopefully by this time I posted the one that I filmed afterwards where I'm like, before you start pointing at other people, you got to point at yourself and evaluate, why do I feel this way? Have I done the same behavior? And how did that make other people feel as well? Let me work on myself first. And so today I just want to talk about just realizing like how in our feelings we can be and how that can be like a good thing to operate on your feelings. If you're feeling like great emotions like love and like respect and like, I don't know, just really good general feelings, and how it can be a bad thing when you're operating on like you're angry, you're upset, you're really sad, you're super emotional in a negative way, and so it just causes you to do things that are not the best things to do in that heightened state of emotion. And so I'm just calling us as Virginianites to recognize when we are operating in our feelings, when we are operating in the flesh, and when we need to kill that flesh. Because sometimes a lot of times when you're operating in the flesh and you're being driven by your emotions, it could lead to you making decisions that you can't take back that you wish you would. The moment it leaves your mouth, you're like, oh, I want to grab that back, but you cannot. Okay, it cannot return to sender. Once it's out there, and you may hurt some feelings, you might even hurt yourself, and it could lead to certain things that could just blow up the situation where it did not need to be blown up that big. It didn't need to end that way, right? And so as Virginianites, we just have to take back control of the narrative and realize that we are all emotional beings. We are human beings. We have so many emotions that we go through all the time, regularly. We're just very, very emotional people. And so when you see something that makes you just like flare up, we have to start recognizing as Virginianites, should I even respond to this? Why is this even upsetting me? Is this something that should even upset me? Is this even something that is worth my time? Like point blank period. Is this even worth any of my time? Is this worth any of my energy? Is this worth any of my precious life force that is non-renewable to give any attention to it at all? So you have to just start to realize these things, because if you don't, you're going to do things that you're going to regret. You're going to say things that you're going to regret. You're going to commit things that you're going to be like, I really wish I had never done that. And that was a mistake looking back. But we can be proactive as Virginianites and recognize that we are emotional beings, and we can realize that we do not have to act in haste when we are in that heightened level of emotions, right? We do not have to respond to that comment when we are flared up and angry because of what they said. Because if we were to just pause and zoom out, most times we'll recognize that that comment or reaction or whatever isn't even worth our time. Okay? It's just someone who is anonymous on the internet, and they just wanted to be anonymously mean, okay? And that's okay. And that's not even the full, like, scenario. Oh, I think I've hit a weird place. But anyway, we're going to keep going. Basically, realize you have an emotion. They have an emotion. They are real people. You're a real person. And is any of this worth your time? Now, this isn't just for, like, people on the internet, okay? This is, like, your everyday life when you interact with people, because you're going to interact with people. We were meant to do life together. We were not meant to be alone in life. So when you're out and about just operating in your normal everyday life, there are going to be people who have differing opinions. There are going to be people who have differing viewpoints. There are going to be different people from different walks of life, whether it be different age, different race, different political affiliations, different upbringings. Like maybe they grew up in the country, but you grew up in the city. And so there's going to be so many different things that you're not going to agree about. You're just not going to agree about it. Some of it, you're going to be like, that is fundamentally just wrong. Other things, it's just going to be like, if you could just get out of your emotions, you'll realize it's just a difference of opinion. And at the end of the day, you can still both have a good relationship with each other. And so it's just getting that discernment to know, when should this get any of my energy? Should this get any of my energy at all? Should I respond to this? Or can we just have a pleasant conversation in which we just both support our own views and we can still be friends? We can still get along. We can get out of our feelings and be above the feelings and operating just on the flesh. And we can be besties, but we can like different things. We can dislike different things. We are not made to be the same person. And so don't get flared up and all like super haughty and mad and upset about something that's really not even worth your time, not worth your energy, not worth your non-renewable resource, which is your own life force. It doesn't make any sense, And so this week, like I said, for some reason, I don't know why, I've been just super emotional and super rah, 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 rah. Being on Reddit does not help. Does not help the situation at all. It definitely has made it worse, not gonna lie. Reddit is a different beast than other social media things. However, it's like I've noticed an uptick in my emotional response making. And so, for instance, today there was just today alone, there was a comment that was made on a platform that upset me. And I had typed something out that was going to clap back at them. But then after I typed it out, I realized once again, I was operating based on the flesh. I was operating based on my emotions, and I was just being super mad, and I was just trying to clap back on them when I zoom out and pause and reread the comment. I'm like, this is actually not that big a deal. They can feel the way they want to feel. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't hurt me, but it would hurt them and their feelings if I write something that'll clap back at it. And maybe I read it the wrong way, I took it the wrong way, or I just further the horrible disconnect between us and make the situation worse, because now they're going to try to come back at me if I try to come back at them. And so I erased that comment and went about my day. And here I am now, beautiful, free, taking a walk, breathing the air, living this beautiful life here in VA. And they're still living their life. And we're both still fine. But you know what didn't happen? I didn't respond to my emotions. I wasn't in my feelings when I responded. And I didn't leave a comment trying to clap back at somebody who didn't deserve my time, because I don't even know what they're talking about. They're not, it doesn't impact me at all, what they're saying. It doesn't impact my life. And so why am I going to give you my energy? Just for you to try to probably bring it back to me. And so we're just going to have this back and forth that goes nowhere. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That goes nowhere. And so as Virginianites, I just want to encourage you guys, sometimes we're going to have to get out of our feelings, because a lot of times we are very emotional and we are extra emotional. I'm not saying feelings are bad. I'm just saying that as a Virginianite, you have to be bigger than your emotions. You have to be bigger than your feelings. You have to kill your flesh. Okay? You're going to have to just kill your flesh and get over yourself and realize when to respond, when to stay silent, and especially if you are on a heightened level of a negative emotion, do not respond to people that you disagree with, because they can still just be good people. You just happen to firmly disagree on a certain topic, and it's okay. We can agree to disagree. Okay? We are not going to change them by yelling at them. Okay? You can't force somebody to change. You are responsible. You hear this all the time in personal development. You hear it all the time on the internet. You are responsible for you. So you're responsible for how you feel. You're responsible for your reaction. You cannot change them. And so it's pointless trying to change them by yelling at them. Okay? What you can do is you can be an exemplary citizen of the great state of VA. You can be the example that they aspire to be. Okay? And by living your life so well, by being so successful, by getting money, okay? They see you and they're like, I want that. How do they get that? And then you're just telling people how you get it by living your life, by being a great person, by being positive, by being optimistic, by being hardworking, by being smart working, by being an extroverted introvert, by talking to people when you need to, but also being quiet and being respectful when you need to. And so they're going to start to want to emulate those qualities because they can see the fruits of your labor in your life. They can see the wealth, they can see the happiness, they can see the joy, they can see so many good things coming from you as a result of you living your life the way you know you should be living it. And so guys, get out of your feelings, get out of the flesh, kill the flesh, and get out of your feelings and start living life the way you know you're supposed to. And don't let other people drag you down to a level that you don't even want to be at, okay? You're going to have to be held accountable for every single thing that you say. So watch your mouth, okay? Watch your comments, watch your typing, so watch your fingers as well, and just be conscious of how you're feeling when you're responding to things. And remember, we start with love, okay? We start with love, and we realize that we are all human. And so you need to see the human behind the keyboard, see the human behind your distress at what they're saying, see the human behind their opinions, see the human behind whatever it is they might be doing that you disagree with. You need to see the human first, and you need to lead with love first. And so I just want to let you guys know, remember, don't operate in the flesh, okay? Don't operate on this heightened level of emotions that really, at the end of the day, is going to cause more harm than do good. And so, get out of your feelings. Please, get out of your feelings and calm down. Honestly, especially if it's something that happened on social media, you can just click off. If you find yourself arguing on the phone at any point in time, click, okay? At any point in time, you could just click and be like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Call him back. I'm sorry. I realized I was raising my voice and we were getting into an argument, and I just needed a moment to calm down, because at the end of the day, it's really not that big of a deal. We can actually agree to disagree, and we can move on and problem solve together as opposed to just arguing. And so, guys, sometimes you just gotta really get out of the flesh, and you really gotta work on yourself first before you start yelling at other people. So that's all I have to say on this Walkkie Talkie with Dinnie and Virginie. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you have any incidents where you were just like operating on the flesh, and so you said something that you should never have said, and you would love to have taken it back. It's happened to me time and time again, where it's like sometimes I would be operating on the flesh so badly with poor misconceptions that I would respond to something angrily, and it turns out I didn't understand the tone at which they were saying it, and so I was attacking somebody who was agreeing with me. And it's like, oh, if I were not in my flesh and I had just calmed down and objectively looked at the situation, we could have been friends. Nonsense, guys. So please work on yourself, work on operating at a higher level. Okay, we're all gonna make mistakes along this road. It's a bumpy road, so we're gonna make some mistakes. We're gonna miss some turns. We're gonna go longer than we thought, but at the end of the day, we're gonna make it, and we're gonna thrive in 2025 as Virginianites and beyond, to be honest, because I firmly believe in 5 years nobody is gonna recognize the great state of VA. So I hope you guys have a wonderful, beautiful day, and until next time, Dinnie out.